All right, the lesson that we're talking about today is the proportional unit, lesson 7, converting English measures. In class, I'm giving out this conversion sheet. It's called Gallon Man. You'll want to be able to use for this homework so you know, and I'm also going to allow you to use that on quizzes and tests. I don't expect you to know all the converting. Here's the homework that goes along with it. All right, I would like to do these problems for a warm-up. So you're going to solve round your answers to the nearest 10. Go ahead and pause the video right now and do these. They are all proportions. All right. Solving a proportion. U cross multiply. So when I solve this, 20 times x is 20x equals 7 times 9 is 63. Divide both sides by 20, and I get x is, let's see, 3.15. All right, now this one's tricky. We are going to cross multiply. We need to do 3 times the quantity, x plus 6. So you need to write that in parentheses because I'm multiplying this numerator by this denominator. Make sure you put this in parentheses. 18 times 10 is 180. Now, how do I solve this? Well, I need to use distributive. 3x plus 18 equals 180. Subtract 18 from both sides, so on 3x is 162. Divide both sides by 3, and you get x is 54. All right, let's solve 4. Cross multiply, this one's tricky. X times x is x squared. 2 times 8 is 16. So x squared equals 16. Now, back to PTAG. How do I solve for x? Take the square root of both sides. So x is 4. All right. Cross multiply. 2 times quantity, x minus 2, equals 3 times quantity, x plus 2. Now, use distributive. 2x minus 4 equals 3x plus 6. This is a great review. Subtract 2x from both sides. So I have negative 4 equals x plus 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. X is negative 10. All right. We are going to talk about converting measures. And we're going to set up proportions. Now, I know that you might be able to do this without setting up a proportion, but I want you to set up a proportion at this point. Just for practice, setting up proportion. So, we want to know 10 feet is how many inches. I think most of you could say, well, I know that that's 120 inches. That does work, but I want you to set up a proportion. I'm going to ask you to write a cheat or a fraction. And what a cheat or fraction is, the 2 units that we're dealing with, feet and inches. I wrote feet over inches. So, what's our conversion between feet and inches? Well, 1 foot is 12 inches. You're going to get that from your conversion sheet, unless you know it. So, 1 foot is 12 inches. And we've got 10 feet. We want to know how many inches. X. Cross multiply. 1 times x is x. 12 times 10 is 120. So, it's 120 inches. All right. Here we go, quarts and gallons. So my cheat or fraction, quart over gallon. So you are going to look at your conversion sheet. And your conversion sheet tells you 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So 4 quarts for 1 gallon. That's my cheat or fraction, and that's my conversion. I've got 74 quarts. I want to know how many gallons. X. Okay, X goes there. Cross multiply. 4x equals 74. Divide both sides by 4, and I end up with x is 18.5. So 18.5 gallons. Let's do one more. Ounces and pounds. So my cheater, ounces and pounds. So 16 ounces in 1 pound. Again, you're getting that from your conversion sheet. So let's set up our proportion. 16 ounces, 1 pound equals, this is ounces, that goes on top, 196 over x. we're looking for pounds. Cross multiply. 16 times x is 16x. 1 times 196 is 196. Divide both sides by 16, and you get x is 12.25. So 12.25 pounds. Again, find your conversion from your conversion sheet. Set up a cheater fraction and make sure both sides of your proportion are set up the same way. And then you can solve. All right, multi-step conversions. Let's take a look at this. So, we've got 6 feet, 4 inches, and we want to convert that into inches. Well, this is already inches, so I don't need to convert that. So, I know that my conversion is 1 foot equals 12 inches. So, my cheater fraction, feet over inches. So, look, 1 foot is 12 inches equals 6 feet is how many inches? Let's cross multiply. 1 times x is x. 12 times 6 is 72. So I've got 72 inches. But I have an original 4 inches. So I have to add that. So 76 inches. All right. Find an equivalent rate. Now, I'm going to write, we're going to call this the goalpost method. We've got 90 inches for 1 minute. Well, 90 inches per minute. I want to end up with feet per minute. Well, let's look what we have. We already have minutes, so I don't need to change my minutes, but I do need to change my inches into feet. So my conversion is 1 foot equals 12 inches. Now, the tricky part is you've got to figure out where these go to end up having feet left. Well, our inches are on the top, so don't I want to put the 12 inches on the bottom so it cancels out? Watch what's going to happen here. Inches divided by inches is 1. I'm going to be left with feet per minute. Feet per minute, my unit. So, you multiply straight across. 90 times 1 is 90. 1 times 12 is 12. 90 divided by 12 is 7.5 feet per minute. 7.5 feet per minute. Let's try this one. We've got $27 per 1 hour. We want our answer to be dollars per minute. So, dollars are already taken care of. Hours need to change into minutes. Well, we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So, we want to get rid of hours. So this hours is in the denominator. We got to put 1 hour up here and 60 minutes down here. The hours cancel out because we're dividing. We multiply straight across. We'll have 27 over 60. But when I divide that, 27 divided by 60 is 45 cents per minute. All right, let's look at some applications. Mrs. Grabner has a recipe for chocolate chip cookies that requires 5 cups of flour. The bag of flour she has says it contains 3 pints of flour. Will she have enough to make the cookies? Well, we need to change. The 2 things we're dealing with are pints and cups. So I'm going to write a cheater fraction. Pints and cups. If you look on your formula sheet, 1 pint equals 2 cups. So you're looking at your gallon minute sheet. I think it's green. So 1 pint is 2 cups. Pints over cups. Now, what do we have? We've got a bag that has 3 pints of flour. Pints goes on top. We want to know how many cups. So I'm putting C on the bottom. We don't know. Cross multiply. 1 times C is C. 2 times 3 is 6. So we've got 6 cups of flour. Do we have enough? Yes. We have enough because we have 6 cups and we need 5. All right, let's take a look at this. Some bridges have weight restrictions for vehicles traveling on them. A truck weighs 7,500 pounds. The bridge has a warning that vehicles over 2.5 tons should not drive across the bridge. Should the truck drive across the bridge? Well, we've got pounds and tons. So our conversion, 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. That's pounds LB. So my Cheever fraction is going to be pounds over tons. So 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. Our truck weighs 7,500 pounds. So that goes up top. We don't know how many tons. X. Cross multiply. 2,000x equals 7,500. Divide by 2,000. And you end up with x is 7,500 divided by 2,000 is 3.75 tons. Can this truck go over the bridge? No. No. It is too heavy.